Welcome to the Tikit Tech Burst Webinar, Searching for Documents conference call, hosted by Andrea Foot. My name is David, and I'll be your conference manager for today. During the presentation, your lines will remain on listen only. If you do require any help from the operator, just press star on your telephone. Like all parties, this conference is being recorded. At the same time, if the participants may submit a question on the WebEx, to do this, please click on the Q&A tab indicated by a question sign. Type your question and click send to all panelists. And now I'd like to hand over to Andrea. Please go ahead.
And, good afternoon to everyone again. This is another one of our little bite-sized web sessions where we take you through some of the bits of functionality on doc management. So we've done a couple of these, and today we thought we'd take a look at, we talked about how you store documents and how you can store emails. So the question then is, well, okay, how can I then obviously find them? So for 10 minutes or so, I'm just going to take you through how Documents handles this and gives you an idea of what that looks like for you. So Tikit, and we're experts in legal technology, and we have spent many years installing document management systems. Documents is a cloud-based document management store, and the data is hosted in Australia and in other parts. There are other hosting centres around the world, so your data is secure in your region. So what I'll actually do is I will swap to having a look at the document management system itself. So for those of you who've joined some of our other quick sessions, look at technology, I've just moved into a browser here. Have the Internet Explorer. It could be a range of different browsers depending on what you prefer. Here's the dashboard. Again, if you've joined us a few times, this should be starting to look a bit familiar. In essence, the big point about it is that we help you decide how you want the system to be set up. So for me, I'm working on the basis that I'm a law firm, and I've got a series of matters that I file my documents into. And then for me as a user, we'll look at my dashboard, and I happen to like it laid out like this. I've got some files I'm working on, some favourites, and so on. So from the point of view of getting your hands on information, the first point I think is this dashboard. People always have things that they like to access and have at their fingertips. One can put an item into your favourites area and then say, well, this is something that's important to me, but I want to put it on a special area over here. And there you can see that's now going to stay there. If I want to get rid of it by removing the gold star, refreshing the screen, at that point, that will be removed from the list. So it's pretty straightforward for you to configure this layout to suit the way you want to work. And it might be that the litigation team lead likes the display one way, and head of legal prefers another. So you decide, we help you set this up, but you can configure it quickly to suit your own requirements. But that's based around the fact of a particular set of documents I like to pull together. Obviously, we can look into a file itself. So if I pick a matter here, and we have a look into the details, again, what it is, this is showing up based on a particular layout. So at the moment, if you're perhaps filing documents on a file share and storing your email into an inbox folder, you'd be in two places right now to find this information. So already you can see that here, this is just showing everything that's an email, everything that's flagged a marketing tag, everything that's got no document type for some reason or another, grouped together. It's showing the four most recent, but again, we can decide, how much we show in a display. We can add and remove data. So it's really up to you to choose how much or how little you want to see on these pages. And then having found one here, it's a matter of clicking on it, whether it's a PDF or email or an email attachment. At that point, it will find it and check it out, and bring it into for you to look at. So very practically, you can say things like, I just want to see the recent matters that I've worked on. So instead of, you may just want to find things this way. People sometimes thinking of that sort of meta structure. Again, we can pick and choose how these screens are displayed, and we can click on matter from there. Equally, say, you know, I just know it's in that recent thing, that recent set of documents I've done, and here we're just very quickly going to get a drop-down list of all the things that we've worked on. So you can, this is where you can say, oh, actually, this is one I really want on my dashboard. I'll pop a gold star on it, then I won't have to keep coming and looking for it. So from a retrieving, you know, just organised in the first place, you'll probably find you're having to go and actively search for things that are much reduced. We have the ability to do this in other places. So you can say, in this little panel here, we're seeing all the documents that we've worked on recently too. So that's our most recent stuff that's happened over there. But if you can't find if your structure isn't, if finding through that structure isn't the preferred way, we have a Google-like search. So we can come in here and say, I want to look for everything with the word architecture in it. And at this point, you might turn. This is assuming that I'm going to look across the whole of the database that I'm in at the moment. And we help structure this. So talking with a firm on Friday, they want to see, they have the main body of the documents, but they want to make sure that the HR and the partner's documents are very, you know, the board papers are kept separately. So you put controls around this so people only get to the right thing. I'm looking at the firm's main document stores. As you can see, I can look at just the name and the subject or look in everything. So if I look for architecture, that's what comes out of the search. You'll find that at this point, nothing's come up at that. Come up. If we now say, actually, I want to search for architecture in everything. Let's do that again. Not being very bright there. Everything architecture. And we're saying, what it was to do is it couldn't find that word in the name of the files themselves, but search will then go down into the body of the document and start trying to pick out where word. So it's highlighting for us here that it's down in an email. We've got it in documents here. If they're accessible PDFs, then we'll also find it there too. So we can click on it and we can start to see a preview of it. If we're just trying to find the right one, we don't have to keep loading and unloading documents to find the one we want. And we can start to use a filtering list. So we can say, oh, okay, I happen to know that it was created by a particular person. I just want to find the one that was done by me. Equally, you know, you might have a list of document types, clients, matters, and so on. So this will auto-populate just as you would, you know, go to a hotel search and say, well, actually, I only want ones with a 5-star and less than $200. The more you filter down, obviously, the fewer results you'll get. Having a search, you can click on the document that you find and bring it back if you want to work on it, or an email, and it look into the email contents and the attachments to emails as well. Equally, say, want to, you know, the history of everything around that document, and you can also start to say, well, you know, this is a search I do often. I don't want to keep putting that detail in. I want to save that search and maybe put it on my main page. And I can show you that in a minute. So the search itself can be, you know, just as a Google search, put in a bit of text, hit return if you just wanted to look at names and subjects, select everything. If that search isn't detailed enough, we have for something called advanced search. And the advanced search will pull back, give you a series of options that will let you look in more detail. One more criteria around the search in the first place. Sorry, just going in the wrong direction here. So, to have, say, I want to look for perhaps every item that's been done within a certain date range, then you can do. Sorry, I'm having problems with this. Good start. So you put more criteria around the search to make sure that you can be much more precise about the documents that, or the results that it finds. So the point of view of putting information in, storing the documents is straightforward. The other half of it is make retrieval at the end. It's really up to you to decide. As information's gone in, at the least it will probably have a client and a matter. It will have a description. You can search by document type. You can look down and then say, well, actually, what I want to do is, I want to give a description, but I want to, already prune which is the client. Put an author in. I want to say it was created a certain amount of time ago. You can see the detail that's brought on here, and there's more detail you can add into the search criteria. Getting in weeds a little, we can also help you structure the advanced search field so you can choose which ones, in what order these search items come up. So this can be very closely fit your own needs. If you're sitting in a matter, if I just drop to a matter, this will then assume, so if we pop into our ticket marketing matter, this will assume that that's where you want to search. So I'll just get rid of that field. You can put it defaulting to search in this matter. So you don't have to have it look across the whole database. It can just search in a particular area, and you can do that from the main search as well. We'll jump back up to the firm level. So the end is the view to help you achieve the right layout of your system, right structure of it, how many cabinets you need, whether like folders, whether you prefer filters, you like to sort and search for your files. Every time file and email, it and the attachments, if you put them in, are automatically text indexed. You can put more criteria around them too. And the end result is that instead of you looking for something or trying to pull all the files, all the documents and emails together on one matter, instead of having to go to separate file stores and folders, one central version to come back and look for your key information. So that's giving you an idea of the search function. We know that people that implement a document management system where they haven't had one before, looking for things takes up more time than people think without a system like this. So it helps you save time. And NetDocuments itself is a very thorough arranging system that helps you not just store documents and emails, but better manage the layouts of your files so the information that you and your team's fingertips. So that probably concludes our session for today. Another lightning quick tech burst on searching this time. At this point, I think that's obviously nice and straightforward. The questions from the accumulated people. So we'll pass back to Seven and to wrap up the call.
Thank you, Anna. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes your conference call for today. You may now disconnect. Thank you for joining. Have a very good day.